This is part 3 of a 3-part podcast.
Put Paul's brain on your plot. Do you have a hunk of land but don't know where to start? Do you have a world-changing permaculture idea and you need some feedback? Do you feel like the guy in overalls may inexplicably hold the keys to all your wildest permaculture and homesteading dreams? Well, you're probably wrong. But if you want to give it a go anyway, you can hire Paul for a consultation. He will be all yours for a whole entire hour. Schedule your Paulversation today at permies.com/consult. permies.com/consult.
And so I want, and in fact, now I'm going to move on to the thing where and I don't know if you're aware of this, but for the Love Shack, the Minnie Mouse heater that you built, when people would get it warm at night and they would wake up in the morning on a cold day, they would have lost 15 degrees, maybe 18 degrees of heat. It would be substantially cooler indoors, which makes sense because Minnie Mouse doesn't have a lot of mass inside. But the space is pretty small too, but still it's like, boy, that's just too much. So we put the Cobb hat on, and the results were amazing. We would lose 2 degrees at night. And,
more moss?
And so basically, have you seen this Cobb hat?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen pictures of it.
Okay, Andreas, I don't know if you could find the Cobb hat images quickly and put them up on the screen. But, so basically, we made a gap over the top of the barrel because you don't want to put anything on top of the barrel. And then we put like a 14-inch thick cob blob above the top of the barrel.
Yeah, like a dome oven.
Kinda, yeah. And so the idea was, okay, so that's like a prototype that we turned out to take out, and that's in a whole different. That's on top of Uncle Mud's cottage rocket. I'm talking about Peter's Minnie Mouse style, which is kind of similar, but the Cobb hat we put on it was a little different, and it had more of a slot opening. So that's an early the picture there is an early prototype. But anyway, so there's a 14-inch thick Cobb blob hovering about 3 inches above the top of the barrel.
Oh.
So the idea is that as the heat would come off the top of the barrel, it would heat the blob, and then we are experiencing a loss of 2 degrees through the night instead of like 15 degrees. So much more comfortable in the morning.
Yeah, but now it's more mass.
Yeah, well, it's not only more mass, but in a way it's wasted heat because otherwise the radiant heat coming off the top of the barrel is just hitting the ceiling, and you're probably just melting a bunch of snow inside the Love Shack, above the Love Shack.
Yeah.
And so there. Okay, I think here we're there's the Love Shack, and there you can kind of see it there. We made a little video about it, and Andreas made a really nice video showing all of this. But so there's a good image right there of the Cobb hat that's on top of Minnie Mouse. It is doing really well. So this was an experiment that you did, and it worked to a degree. Although I got to say, I don't want to ever have a 4-inch system again. I mean, this is the last 4-inch system that we have allowed to exist at my place. And the big problem we have with it is nobody can get their hand in there to get the ash out. So we got to haul in a shop vac to kind of vacuum out the ash once in a while. Because 4 inches is just too small. But it does work. It does heat. And now with the Cobb hat, it performs really well. Now, inside the red cabin, we have a 6-inch J-tube system that we've put in there, and we've put a cob hat on that, and that's working really well too. All I wanted to do is to say, okay, one of your experiments here was Minnie Mouse, and we've had success with it. And considering how the mass is inside the barrel, and the success is kind of like, meh, it was, but with the cob hat, it's moved from being a mediocre success to being a strong success. Just wanted to share that. The other thing that you did is you had your very first shoebox, double shoebox design, and you put that in at Allerton Abbey as a cooktop, a rocket cooktop. Mm-hmm. At the same time, another guy built a Sidewinder rocket cooktop, and over at Cooper Cabin, and that was with purchased metal top. Like, I'm not sure if it was cast iron or steel, but it was a lot of metal, and it was very expensive. Whereas you built yours with a recycled electric oven glass top. And yours is, by people's choice, the winner by far. Unanimous. Okay. Everybody who's used both prefers yours because you can boil water.
Despite it is so small, do you know why it is so small?
I'm going to go with no. I don't know why it's so small.
No. Well, there was a girl who said, I'm going to live there. So I used her size to shape the furnace or whatever it is. But also, at the time, there was an earth floor, and now there is a wooden floor on top of that, so the thing is even lower.
Right.
So everybody is too large for it. And despite that, you say...
Oh, everybody loves it. It is the best.
It runs very fast, very hot.
Yeah.
It's actually the only double shoebox number one, because I have three. I did 3 shoeboxes of different kinds, but the only one that was successful, actually.
Oh,
thank you.
Interesting. Well,
the thing is unique because I stopped the development of the DSR-1 double shoebox rocket about a year later because I couldn't get it to behave.
Well, this one behaves. This one is glorious. And it's got I would have to say also one of the most beautiful things about it is it works extremely well with Gilligan's. We have not had any Gilligan issues. I would say the only thing that we had a problem with was the casserole door. And it's kind of funny because Matt Walker said it'll shatter. It won't last. Oh. And then it shattered. And so then we've got a new one that was different. Okay, well, this one will last. It shattered also because that's what, and Matt Walker predicted it too. He said that one will also shatter. And it did. And then we got another one that was like the amber glass. Okay, and this one won't shatter. And Matt Walker said, no, that'll shatter too. And it did.
Yeah.
And so then we got our knob out, we reshaped it, and now we hang a cast iron skillet over that hole. And that has worked for years.
Okay, now it worked.
Yeah.
But the point is, the thing is so damn powerful that it's not easy to tame it. It will destroy any type of door probably, but
the cast iron.
Cast iron skillet.
The cast iron skillet has lasted I think 5 years now.
Yeah, the type of bricks in there are probably crumbling now. Is that right?
Well, I don't know because somebody thought that the bricks were ugly and they covered it up with a layer of cob.
No, that's the outside. No, inside the firebox.
Okay, all right. I haven't looked. I have not looked. It's been going strong. It's got a lot of miles on it.
Oh.
But okay, the key is that when people go to Cooper Cabin and use that Sidewinder style rocket cooktop, it takes them an hour to boil water.
Oh.
And when they use your double shoebox at Allerton Abbey, they can boil water in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
starting from cold.
Yeah.
And it's so small. It's a dwarf, actually.
I mean,
but yes, it works.
It would be nice if it was taller.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like. In fact, I think Jennifer Richardson, when she was here, she built like a wooden floor behind it, so she could cook on it without having to bend over so much.
Yep.
And it was just lower in that lower area kind of a thing. But all I want to do, and what I do want to say, I thought that when we did the permaculture the Rocket Mass Heater Jamborees, when we did the Rocket Mass Heater Jamborees here, we always did at least 5 global experts here with 5 builds happening at the same time. I thought those events were glorious because then, like, you and the other people and me could argue about all these designs and stuff, and then we could try out things and prove each other to be wrong or whatever. And so, but I do believe everything moved forward a little bit during these events. Unfortunately, I went way in the red for every event, and I know that you contacted me and said, "Hey, when are we going to do another one of these?" And I keep thinking like, well, if I could do a Kickstarter that does really good, then I do think it's time to do another one. And I got projects in mind and everything. But until then, it's difficult for me to go that far into the red. I mean, I love the idea of maybe I should do it kind of like a Kickstarter and say, like, if I can sell this many tickets, then we could do it. And if we don't sell that many tickets, then we can't. But, it's a total. And when we talked about doing it again, part of the idea was not only to fly you over here from Europe, but then also fly over the Gamera guys. And then there's that guy that's in Israel that's done some real beautiful work. And has been in the United States.
That guy from Israel.
Well, yeah, I met him in the United States.
Yeah.
He was in Missoula. He came to a Missoula event that I helped set up. And that's where I met him. And so, but, anyway, the thing is that if we're going to have 5 builds by 5 global experts, then it's like, we got to pick our global experts. But if our global experts are, from not around here, it costs more to get them here.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, and I think we started to do something only I think that the Gamera guys, like the United States said, no, you can't go to the United States. And which seemed kind of mean, but I think it was I think part of it may have been the COVIDs or something. So we ended up canceling that event. So anyway, all right. I just want to say I thought those events were terrific because we ended up with a lot of cross-pollination between the leaders of rocket mass heater stuff. And at the same time, I'm sad because I kind of feel like interest in rocket mass heaters should be 1,000 times greater than what it is. And, you know, it is what it is, but it's still sad. So, all right. Anyway, I'm glad we got to visit about Batchbox versus JTube, and that we got to visit about the value of a radiator. We got to visit about efficiency of a system when there is no fire. And also how it would be delightful to have another Rocket Mass Heater Jamboree. I don't see it happening for a while, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see if we can pull it off.
I have something to say about it. I'm turning 80 years of age in 5 weeks or something. So when you have a jamboree in the coming 5 years or so, maybe I'm still around, maybe not.
Oh man, Peter, I had no idea you were that old. You're so old.
I don't feel old, but I am.
So, in fact, if we were to do it this year, I mean, I remember that there was one time you came here and the flight just really took it out of you. It was like 3 or 4 days to shake off the flight. And it aggravated something in you. It was like that flight was not good for you. No. I don't know. If we flew you over here this year, like in October, would you think you'd do great? You'd be all right? Okay. I just read your face.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I don't know about next year, but at the moment, I don't think it would be a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. So, still.
Not that I'm dying. No. no plans in that direction. But, well.
It's just that much travel.
I'm a bit shaky now and then.
Yeah. That much travel is rough on you.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things where to get here, it'd be like 24 hours of airport crap. No, not 24, but about 18 or something. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, all right. Peter, while you have the floor, is there anything else you'd like to talk about today? About 100 below, or about rocket mass heaters are awesome, or I don't know. How your systems beat up my systems?
Well, there are some ideas in here, but I need to find the energy to start another experiment. Something which could develop the J-tube in another direction.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know whether it will work or not. I have indication that it will, but not for sure. And it would be very interesting to do that during a jamboree and see whether it would work or not. But so it's okay. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
At the moment, I don't have. What's that?
Oh, it's Andreas is kind of stepping a wave at us or something.
No, I have Ben Falk is asking me if he could join us for a little bit to talk about his questions quickly. Would you guys be up for it or too late?
I would, if it's going to be like 7 minutes or so, I think it'd be great. Bring him in.
It's
Okay, I'm sending him the link. You good?
So, Peter, do you know who Ben Falk is?
Again?
So there's a guy, Ben Falk. He lives on the East Coast of the United States. He's a permaculture guy, and he has a rocket mass heater. And so he would like to join us for a few minutes before we wrap up for the day. But while we're waiting for Ben to come along, it sounds like you've got an idea for a J-tube, but it needs to be tried out. The experiment needs to happen to see if it does what you hope it will do.
Yeah. Actually, the idea is something that was triggered on the one hand by Erica. One of her experiments was the immersible rocket mass heater to warm a bath or something, and the mechanics in there are very, let's say, interesting, and the cabin heater of, was it the cabin heater of Uncle Mart? Uncle Mud's
cottage rocket?
The cottage rocket. Okay, that one has a very short tunnel. Hello, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
Mr. Falk. So just to wrap up, so Peter, you've got some ideas that are along the lines of Erica Wisner's stuff and maybe something to do with Uncle Mud's cottage rocket design. Something down that road.
The cottage rocket design has a very short tunnel. Actually, there is no tunnel as such. It still works, but the mechanics in there could be improved.
Okay. All right.
In some way. But it has to be tried out whether it will work or not.
Okay. So, Ben, I understand you've got some questions. We've only got just a couple minutes left, but go ahead. Hit us with what you got.
Oh, well, the only question I had is what I asked on your post about, cutting out 90% of the wood use, or being like 10 times, using a tenth of the wood for the compared to a modern wood stove. I'd love to. I know rocket mass heaters are obviously very efficient, and they beat the efficiency of the most efficient wood stove. But there's two things. One, a tenth the wood use of a modern wood stove. I would love to see it. I find that just really hard to believe. I mean, you even doubling the efficiency would be incredible. But two, when it comes to actually choosing to use a rocket mass heater versus a high performance wood stove, one should consider the multiple functions of a wood stove, which is that you can quite easily heat all your domestic water, do all your cooking as well while you're heating your space too, because you've got that fire going all the time. And I know you.
My guess is that.
What's that?
Okay. As you were asking that question, you cut out a lot, but I think it might be my connection. Is my connection rough, or is it somebody else's connection is rough?
It might have been mine. Can you hear me okay?
No, it's yours. It's yours, Paul. It's frozen again.
I think we lost Paul.
Yeah, I think we lost Paul.
Hi, this is Mark.
Sometimes talking to a friend or family member about permaculture can be met with a blank stare if it's all new to them. A great way to explain some of it can be over a card game using permaculture playing cards, which each have interesting facts with quality illustrations and descriptions. A wide range of people, places, and things, all related to permaculture, can be found on the permaculture playing cards at richsoil.com/cards.
The pole is frozen because it's 100 degrees below zero. Okay.
Okay. So, can you guys hear me now? Is everything smooth now? I switched my internet.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I want to take on Ben's question, and Peter will then correct whatever I say. And so it goes like this. First of all, your 80% efficient wood stove is actually closer to something like 65% efficient. The government allows them to say it's 80, even though it's 65, because they're talking about the amount of heat that goes up the chimney might not count or whatever. But on top of that, it got to 65 under some very pristine laboratory conditions. The average operator is going to be lucky to get it to like 40% efficiency. But most importantly, most people will foolishly operate their conventional wood stove, their 80% efficient wood stove, at 3% efficiency at night. They're going to put a big log on the fire and turn the air intake down low to try to get an all-night burn, thus giving all wood-burning contraptions a bad name, as it puts out a whole bunch of smoke and creosote. Now, let me ask you, if you have a wood stove that's burning at 3% efficiency, and I make the claim I want to heat my home with 1/10 of the wood, is it now believable?
Yeah, sure, but that is an unrealistically low number for even most people, and only at night. And anyone, you have to use a lot of things in life skillfully. So I think if we're comparing using something totally incompetently to using something else competently, it doesn't seem like apples to apples. So we'd have to decide what you really want to compare it to. I mean, I think a lot of people, it's achievable to use a wood stove at moderate efficiency, pretty well. We burn it all night. I wake up in the middle of the night and feed it once, and it's burning just as efficiently at night as it is during the day.
I love watching Peter shake his head as you say those things you just said, because I was thinking what Peter's thinking, like, oh, Ben, we have so much to talk about. So let me see if I can read Peter's mind. And it's like the thing I described is just the beginning. Would that be correct, Peter? Did I read your mind correctly?
Go on, please.
Yes. So there's also the thing about how when you run that 80%, and I'm going to say 80% with air quotes here, 80% efficient wood stove.
No, it isn't.
It isn't 80%. But even more than that, half the heat.
That's fine. But let's say 60. I mean, a good user of a wood stove, I think, let's say, could get 50 or 60. So just let's say 50. I wouldn't counter that you couldn't run a rocket stove at twice the efficiency. That's great. But efficiency isn't the only end goal of any system or technology. So,
it's true.
As you know. So what I would say is show me, I've proved for 20 years that you can heat all your hot water in a small, not even very well insulated home on 2 cords of wood, all your heat and all your hot water and all your cooking for the whole winter on 2 cords in zone 4. Like you might be a little colder than we are, but you have way more sun probably. We barely do. I'm in sun right now, which is like a 1 in every 10 days this time of year. And so I wouldn't counter you could get a cord, do 1 cord, but I have yet to see the model where it's also all the water, all the cooking, and you've got a fire going all the time, which is nice to stand around. I know you have an amazing, awesome mass, and that's great, and you have less emissions, and that's awesome. I mean, I understand quite well how efficient and the benefits of a mass-based heater, and I think they certainly have their application. But I'm just comparing it to the systems that we've used here and been working with for 20-plus years. Which I think is accessible. I don't think you have to be very masterful in your use to use a wood stove pretty efficiently.
So I'm going to restate a thing I stated a moment ago, but I don't think it got through. And that is that when you take your wood stove or any wood stove, whether it's a conventional wood stove, a really modern wood stove, any of these wood stoves, the way that you are still putting at least half the heat out the roof. Peter, how's my math on that?
I could believe that, absolutely.
It looks correct, but
okay.
I've a lot of trouble with 1/10 of the fuel, but
1/10 is a lot. 1/10 is, I mean, that's a huge 10x.
That's what I said. I have troubles with that. But the idea is, time and again, I see people who steps up. I call it a step up from conventional wood stove, being Alaska pipeline or cast iron or whatever it is, and they use a certain amount of fuel per winter for that. Then they step up to a mass heater, preferably my design, but it's okay. They step up to a mass heater and they cut it down to 1/3 of the same fuel, and he's not there anymore.
Oh no, I'm still here. Sorry.
You're still with us.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. But the idea is that you want a high efficiency, heating water, do all the cooking and all the heating and so on, and then you ask a lot of a heater, and I think because you have all these extra functions, it means it won't be that efficient, and also the idea that you get up in the night to refill it, and it smolders on. Yes, that's not efficient at all.
So I would have to say that one of the things is to address something that, so Ben was saying 2 cords per year.
Yeah.
And I want to say that about 7 or 8 years ago, we heated this home, and we very, very carefully measured exactly how much wood we used, and we used 0.60 cords of wood to heat this home 1 year. And
so just over half a cord, did I hear you right?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you describe the square footage and just thermal envelope of the home?
It is moderately insulated, so not really well insulated. We didn't have any blinds on the windows of any kind, or window quilts, or winter curtains of any kind. There's no front porch. It's 1,350 square feet, approximately, a 3-bedroom home. Mm-hmm. It's a double wide, so it's not exactly famous for great insulation.
Sure.
So does this help paint a picture of, and also I want to state that we probably had an average temperature of 69. I don't think it ever got below 66, and we frequently had it up to 72, 73. So, and this also includes that at night we didn't have to, add to the fire or anything like that because the mass would heat us through the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely great. And that's in Montana. That's like, what was the average winter temp, or the average coldest part of the winter?
So, I would have to, we are in zone 4.
Yeah.
And so, I would have to say that, the coldest temperature we have ever experienced here is 26 below.
That's exactly our coldest too, exactly 26 below.
Okay. Now, I've heated homes like this for probably more than 10 years using nothing but wood heat. And my experience is generally 5 or 6 cords of wood per winter. But I would wake up cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to me, I think it's fair to say that I'm heating this home with 1/10 the wood. Now,
I guess it depends on your wood heating system. The building that I'm talking about, it depends, on the building too, the building specific. So the building I'm speaking about, we've heated many winters on 2 cords, plus all the hot water. And the hot water could take almost half the heat, or at least a third.
Right.
Is a bit bigger. And I don't know, it's hard to compare insulation, because a double wide can vary, but a double wide certainly isn't very good. I agree. So, and that's very impressive. And I've never countered the efficiency of any mass heater. But I would think that building we could also do 2 cords on my wood setup, maybe 2.5 if it's much worse insulated than our building. But again, get all the hot water. And as you said, it would be colder for part of the day for sure. Mm-hmm. But that could be remedied with just mass. It wouldn't have to be the thermal mass of the stove itself. That could also just be mass in the building to a large extent.
We recorded one of these things a few weeks ago to talk about exactly that for people with conventional wood stoves.
Yeah.
In order to address
did you get any hot water or cooking? How much cooking and hot water did you get from that system?
So, Ben, you popped in a little late to our thing, and we need to wrap up. But I do want to leave you with one important thing, that when you have let's say an 80% efficient wood stove, most people operate it at 20% efficiency or less, usually with a cold burn at night of 3% efficiency. And then when the fire goes out, the way they have everything configured, it functions at negative efficiency as it continues to draw heat out of the house and through the roof when there is no fire. So there's that. And when you have a fire, generally about half the heat, maybe even more, goes out the roof. Whereas with a rocket mass heater, Peter Vandenberg is our expert on what I'm about to say next, and that is, while your conventional wood stoves tend to have an efficiency of about 50% or 40%, a rocket mass heater on average burns at a 93% efficiency, and this is carefully measured, not guessed at. And the results of these tests are available online. But on top of that, our exit temperature, whereas the exit temperature of a conventional wood stove is going to be 350 degrees Fahrenheit to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, the exit temperature of your rocket mass heaters tend to be 120 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're keeping a lot more of that heat inside. So,
Paul, I understand exactly all of those things about mass heaters and why they're so efficient. I'm bringing up all the other functions and the overall net result of them. And so I'm not countering the efficiency.
Okay.
I'm up the other aspects, and I was just countering the 1/10 of the efficiency, because I think you're picking all of the worst numbers about a wood stove. I would say you could double the efficiency pretty easily, and that's great.
And I don't think it really has as much to do with efficiency. I think what we're doing is we're saying you can heat your home and be even more comfortable with 1/10 of the wood. Now, I'm going to make this statement, and I know that other rocket mass heater experts kind of do a facepalm whenever I say it. Peter, when I say you can heat your home with 1/10 of the wood compared to a conventional wood stove, and I'm going to also say that a modern wood stove will heat your home with half the wood of a conventional wood stove. And I'm going to go even a little bit further to say that an old school masonry heater would heat your home with half the wood of a modern wood stove.
Yeah.
So these are my numbers that I'm going to state. And Peter, I think the world is going to think of you as a greater expert than I on this.
Well,
so how are you? What are your numbers going to be like?
Most of the time, slashing the fuel use down to 30% of what you did before is normal. And 1/10 is probably in just one or two examples, but it's possible. But the average stove is using much more, 3 times more, 4 times more, to 5 times more fuel than a mass heater. And a rocket mass heater is very efficient. That's all I can say about it.
Just real quick, Paul, how are you cooking and getting your hot water in that test example? How?
We talk about heating and not about cooking. Cooking is an entirely different sport.
But my reference is the overall energy consumption of the house, because most people still want hot water and still cook, and that's heat. That's a heat demand too. Which if your furnace of your house takes care of it, that matters a lot.
I do have like 5 or 6 hours to say about cooking with wood and heating water with wood. And of course, Peter, you've been here, and you not only did you build the rocket cooktop that's inside of Allerton Abbey, but I know that you have observed us using the rocket water heaters that we use. We've got 2 of those, one that's pressurized and one that's unpressurized. And I do feel like I've got a lot to say down these roads. And then, of course, there's the whole rocket oven thing, the rocket kiln that we recently built. I think there's a beautiful exploration down multiple paths here. And at the same time, we're at the end of our time, and my bladder is about to explode. So Ben, I'm so sorry, but you got here just in the last couple minutes.
I just got a message about it. So sorry, but I'm joining you at the end. But yeah, I would love, I love mass heaters, and I would love to send me any examples of someone who's getting all the functions from the rocket mass heater, because I think those are needed, and I've got my example that I feature in my book, and it's a proof of concept, and so it's out there. I'd love to see the proof of concepts, references.
All right, so let's wrap this thing up. If you like this sort of thing, come on down to the forums at permies.com, where we talk about heat, homesteading, and permaculture.
Hey, this is T. Blankenship. Have you seen the new video of Wheaton Labs? It is permaculture awesomeness with all new and improved things like more rocket mass heaters, easy bake coffin, Willy Wonka, rocket cooktop 2.0, and the truly passive greenhouse. To see more, go to permies.com/tour. Again, that is permies.com/tour. tour.